Well, I might as well do that as well. We are here for the fun of the sport after all. I didn't notice the 5 red lights. Okay, it's lights out and away we go. And YC seem to have gotten a pretty good start, but I'm gonna have to go into the spectator camera because I didn't expect it to begin so suddenly. As expected, YC and Dino having quite the battle at the front. There's no DRS activated just yet, so Dino isn't going to be able to make use of that. But also quite close to him is the Alpine of Chris Boy, who also got a really good start. Beastava also had it great off the line as well. He takes it quite tight. Who's going to be leading after the first hairpin? It seems that YC is still keeping that same pace we've known him from the previous season. And considering that he was the wingman beforehand, imagine if like there's some kind of a shift from them. Like, you can't spectate half of the cars. What's going on here? Oh, and Chris Boy! Oh, he drives it off at the track. That's going to kill a lot of his pace. And also, one of the other Mercedes drivers as well. I can't quite tell which one that is. It was the other one that wasn't SOT 85. I haven't quite memorized the name yet, but it seems that Mercedes' wingman have made a major mistake. And they make an absolute... it's Heya. And Heya makes an absolute tumble through the positions. That's the last thing he wanted. And it seems that Chris Boy also hasn't been able to keep pace with even the Mercedes of SOT 85. As now it's a battle between him and YC. If YC ends up making a mistake, then that'll quite easily give SOT the position. But from what we see with YC, he is a very difficult driver to break. He's stone cold. He takes the tightest lines, and he can read those track limits like he has laser vision. But also in P5, there's been a particularly impressive showing from the Haas of Klesico. He had a pretty bad qualifying position, but he's been able to crawl his way all the way up to P5. Pretty impressive for the Haas team, considering they were pretty much the midfield team of the first season. And now he's being pressured by Red Jelly. Whether he's going to be able to keep the position, that's in the question, as they are both wheel to wheel with each other. Is this going to reflect in anything? There's a bit of wheel smoke from the Alpine, so maybe that could affect the results in some way. Again, I'm not too sure. We'll just have to wait and see. And it seems that Turk still hasn't been having that much better luck compared to his teammate, because those one softs have led him to hitting a track limit, and he's starting to lose position after position after position. Clearly not the thing that Alpine won on their comeback race, when the team has been looking stronger than ever. Because if that's how this is going to end for one of their other drivers, I don't think the future looks as bright as the Alpine team were hoping for. But still, I think they're grateful to even be fighting for this many points in the first place. Nobody could have expected that. But also, now fighting for the position out of nowhere is the Salva/state, whatever you want to call it, of Jerry Pecco, and then just behind him is Dino looking to try and get Asmit. No, hold on. Just behind him is X-Guardian, one of the new drivers for Williams, who hasn't necessarily had that much of a chance to show the potential he has. Maybe this could be his chance for his big break into the podium, as now just over a second separates him and Klezica, as now Klezica has the defending battle of a lifetime on his hands. Now Jerry Pecco is going into the pits, and so is Dino Monkey and X-Guard, and it seems that Turk is staying out, so this is where most of the drivers are deciding to pit. So whether that's gonna equate to anything, again, that's sort of up in the air. But also, I'd like to bring attention to Beastava. Beastava is in 12th right now. Even the drivers that Red Bull have counted on to give them points aren't even in the points battle. Like, that's a complete shock to the like hierarchy of things, if you ask me. And also, coming to the front as well, SOT 85 is setting clean sector after clean sector, but now this is where YC goes into the pits. Is this gonna change anything in the standings? YC switches to the softs in contrast to SOT's choice for the mediums. How long is it gonna take him to get out of the pits? Is he going to be ahead of YC heading out? Things are looking like good for the Ferrari driver. He heads out with a gap of, I don't actually know how much that is, but considering he's made the choice to go to softs, if that's gonna pay off, That's going to be in the question. I think that's about a 3-second gap between YC and Sot. Could be 4 seconds. Nope, it's still 5 seconds. YC is in a really good spot now to take this victory. But also, if we cut back to Turkslow, his decision to go with the mediums is starting to bite him in the back, because now Klesica is trailing just behind him, and so is Jerry Pecco on the same softs. It's a battle. It's a free driver battle for the podium positions. Who's going to end up coming on top? Is it going to be the surprise appearance of Turk? Is it going to be the Haas Wonderboy of Klesica? Or is it going to be the Daredevil of Jerry Pecco? Jerry Pecco gets a really good line and cuts right ahead of Klesica, but that's also going to give him DRS. So if anything, that's going to be harming Jerry Pecco's overall pace. But it seems that Turk has been making some significant mistakes as well, and is starting to lose pace on those other two. Whether that leads into an overtake, we're just going to have to wait and see, considering that there are still 5 laps in the race. Jerry Pecco is actually extremely close to Turkslow now. After Turkslow made a mistake, the chances for Alpine getting on the podium is starting to fade away, as Jerry Pecco is looking for any possible line he can to get the undercut on Turkslow. But of course, Turkslow isn't going to take that sitting down. But Jerry Pecco gets the line, and now he's into the podium positions just ahead of Turkslow. It was a really good showcase from Alpine, but it's starting to look more and more hopeless for them by the second. YC hasn't been showing up for that many races in the previous season, but now that he's been promoted to the main driver of Ferrari, he's really been able to come out of his shell, show what he's got, and that's really been reflected in his dominant performance today, with his teammate being in some of the furthest back positions on the grid. YC has really made a name for himself with how far he's been leading the race. He goes under the front straight and he crosses the line. YC wins the German Grand Prix. Sot 85 comes in second after keeping it as consistent as possible for Mercedes. And now we wait with bated breath to see who wins that free driver battle. It's seeming like it's going to be Jerry Pecco's race, as he now has a 3-second gap on Klesica, who also got the overtake on the Alpine, and he's done it! Jerry Pecco gets into the podium for Stake's first ever race. Klesica comes in fourth, just barely missing the podium, but still having an incredible result for the Haas team. So yeah, it was a pretty thrilling start to the season, but if there's anything we can take away from this, Alpine have been showing some pretty good pace, but aren't necessarily that good at playing the long game. Jerry Pecco is as strong as he's ever been. We've got a new championship contender with Sot 85 driving a Mercedes. But the one big thing that everyone's been taken aback by is that Jerry Pecco has been carrying Ferrari on his shoulders and gives them the opening advantage in this championship.